down 18.9% in 2022. Is UPS stock a buy for 2023? I'm going to answer that question using several different metrics in this video, so let's get right into it. Starting with revenue and revenue growth for UPS, you can see from 2020 to roughly July of 2022, UPS's revenue soared from 18 billion up to 24 billion. You could see that growth rate accelerating all the way up over 24% at the peak online purchasing during the earlier stages of the pandemic, and that's now turning into a headwind and revenue growth of just 4.2% in its most recent quarter. So there was a boom and bust cycle here for UPS in the shorter near term, where it created a burst in sales during the time when we were stuck at home ordering a lot more things online. Now that we're going out more, spending more money on restaurants and bars and travel and entertainment, sales growth is decelerating for UPS. That's likely to persist over the next several quarters as consumers continue to unleash that pent up demand for away from home experiences. The next thing I wanted to look at is operating income, and for this, I want to go back longer term. I looked at this going back to 2014 and a very nice trend going upward in terms of operating income, 3 billion in operating income in its most recent quarter, and then a very nice upward trend in terms of operating profit margin going back to before 2014, and then even from here you see a nice upward trend and 13.6% operating profit margin for the trailing 12 months is an excellent operating profit margin for a business of this size and this scale with so much large fixed expenses and so much non-cash expense like depreciation on its logistical network. So 13.6% operating margin is excellent, and the upward trend is also very good. Next, I wanted to look at cash flow from operations, again going back before 2014. This is a very capital intensive business, right? You've seen the UPS trucks and vans and planes, and the whole logistical network is very expensive to build out and maintain. Still, the company's been able to generate strong cash flow from operations and showing an upward trend going back before 2014. If we kind of ignore the fluctuations and we just draw a trend line here to 2022, the most recent update, you see an upward trend in terms of cash flow from operations, which is really good news if from an investor standpoint. All right, finally, let's look at its valuation to determine if the stock is a buy. Looking at its, I think it's more informative to do the 3 year. Let's look at the 3 year chart. Looking at its price to free cash flow, it's trading at 15.83, which is near the lowest it has been over the last 3 years. And then looking at the forward PE ratio, also a 15.11, similar to its price to free cash flow, although this is much higher from its lows of near price to earnings forward of 12. So to answer the question, is UPS stock a buy for 2023? I would say it's close, but yes, it is a buy for 2023. The company's got strong cash flow, strong operating margins. Of course, growth is decelerating and decreasing, and that's going to be the case for the next few quarters. But longer term, the company's in a good business with relatively few competitors. And since there's such a high cost for entry, right? New competitors can't just jump into the industry because it's so capital intensive. It's a strong barrier to entry. United Parcel Services business is relatively protected in that regard. So for that reason, I would say yes, the stock is a buy for 2023. All right, that's all I've got for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.